Hey, Nora,
Hey, Dad.
do you know what the bus driver said to the toad?
I don't.
Hop in.
That one was not bad.
Ah, wait, I got one more for you. Are you ready?
Ooh, okay, yes.
Do you know what toads drink?
What?
Coca-Cola.
Haha. That
That
one
one
wasn't
not
as
that one
good.
wasn't as good? All right, we'll
No.
go with the first one. Hop in. Hey, what are we talking about this week?
We are talking about our little toad friend.
Hey, welcome back to the Norah and Dad Show. 1 week longer than we expected being back with you all. We kind of screwed up
We
last week and
forgot.
forgot to record an episode,
Sorry.
which happens, but the week off gave us a cool topic to talk about this week, but we'll get to that in a second. But anyway, as always, I'm Dad and I'm here with my lovely 16-year-old daughter, Nora. Hey, what's going on, Nora?
Nothing much. It is a Sunday night. Um,
All right.
yeah.
Thank you all for listening. We'll see you in 2 weeks.
Yep.
It's been a fairly, I guess, uneventful 3 weeks in our house. I guess. Yes.
And yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there
Yeah,
hasn't
yeah.
been. Yeah, it hasn't been too much going on, except as you mentioned in the opening, we now have a new four-legged friend living. We think living in our house. Do you wanna fill everyone in?
Okay. So, I was living my life yesterday, and my mother comes frantically from outside the backyard and hands me a toad. And it's not moving, and it's very cold, and she's just like, warm it up. And I didn't know what to do, so I just wrapped it in a towel and kind of kept it there. And then little monster Mr. John Hyman said that we could not keep the toad because it would just die, like it's gonna die, so it's okay.
Because my house is not a zoo, but go ahead.
But then my mom and I convinced him that we could keep the toad, and now we have the toad, who may or may not be alive. We're not sure.
We haven't seen it actually move yet today.
But I spent $20 on it. No, it's
So
he's moved today.
so
Just
mom
not a
was out
lot.
in the backyard picking up dog poops yesterday before the snow came today and buried all the poops in snow, and where she came upon this toad, which you then brought in the house. And yeah, so you named the toad what?
Freckles.
Freckles, because if we have the animal in the house, the animal has to have a name. And so we found an old, or I guess mom found
No,
the
I did. That
old,
was all me.
when we used to do
Frogging.
frog jumping. Valley City, Ohio is the frog jumping capital of America, apparently. And every summer they have a frog jumping competition. And when you and your brother were little, we used to go do the frog jumping competition. And we started by renting frogs.
I didn't know you could rent frogs.
Yeah, it was for an extra couple bucks, you could rent a frog, and they would just reach in this giant tank of frogs and hand you a frog, and you would rent a frog. And they were all sourced from around the area, and I believe they promised they returned them from where they found them at the end of the frog jumping competitions. They would hand you a frog, or you could of course bring your own frog.
And
And
there were people who have like they breed their frogs and have like their star frog jumper.
oh, there was someone ahead of us in line one year who flew in from California with their frog for frog jumping and was on the phone with, I guess it was whoever's house they were staying in, telling the person like what to feed the frog and when to stretch out its limbs, like the frog's exercise regimen for the day to get it primed and ready to go for their jump later on that day. People take that stuff really seriously. We never took it that seriously.
No.
Other than I have a Rockin' Kermit the Frog hat that I used to wear for frog jumping that I now wear when
And you have
I just
cool
I just
t-shirts.
I just cleared the driveway and was wearing my Kermit the Frog hat to shovel the driveway. So our frogs never did very well. They would just kind of, I think,
Bee frogs.
yeah, they would just be frogs. I think the rules are they put a giant, like one of those, like when you do like the parachute in gym class. You know what I'm talking about?
I do, yeah. It's like a
Yeah.
tarp.
Yeah, like the giant like canvas like or nylon like tarp parachute thing, and they put the frog in the middle of that, and then it gets 3 jumps, and they measure how far it jumps. I don't think we ever had a frog in the years we did it. I think we did it 3 or 4 times. I don't think we ever had a frog go more than like 2 feet, and some go like 12, 15, 18, 20 feet. I don't think we ever had a frog go more than 2. So frog jumping, not for us. You go down to Valley City, you hang out with Mayor Ribbit for a day, your frog does nothing, and then you go home. But the point is, the tank that, what, Freckles, is that the toad?
Yes, Freckles.
What the point is that the tank that Freckles is now, we think living in, was the tank that's like a plastic, like, crate.
It's not
basically.
a very good habitat for the toad, but it's better than him dying outside. It's temporary.
So the 1 year that we went and found our own frogs for frog jumping, we bought that little plastic carrying container thingy to put the frogs in to get them to and from the frog jumping competition, and it's been sitting in the garage ever since. And I don't think we've done frog jumping in, I don't know, 10 years, 8 years, 9 years, I don't know. But so Freckles is now residing in that habitat. And and we were at the pet store today. The dogs needed their nails trimmed, and you went with us to the pet store and purchased what all did you purchase for our maybe living, maybe dead toad friend?
Some substrate, because toads are burrowing animals, so they need to be able to burrow under the dirt. I got him a little hiding log thing, because they like to hide. And some mealworms that I don't think he has eaten, because he hasn't moved all day. So
to be fair, toads are nocturnal, so it is possible that we're going to go to bed tonight, all the lights in the house will go off, and he will awaken, or they will awaken. They will awaken. We decided Freckles' pronouns are they, them. Freckles will awaken and have an active night, eat the mealworms, and wake up in the morning, and he will be on the totally opposite side of the habitat, and all will be right in the world. But I will say, we gave him a good poking this afternoon, and that thing did not move at all.
When Mom tapped the glass, he moved.
Are you sure she didn't shake the thing? It just caused it to move as if it was living in an earthquake?
I don't know. We'll see tomorrow.
We will see tomorrow. So, at least for today, we have another, we think, living creature in our house to go along with the 4 of us, me and your mom and you and your brother. The 2 dogs.
The 2 dogs.
I was getting there. The 2 dogs, and now Freckles the toad. I guess the plan was to get Freckles, because toads can they not survive in the cold weather?
They're supposed to like burrow underground during the winter. They hibernate. But I think because it got up into the 50s, Freckles got confused and came up.
Oh.
So, yes, if we release them, they will die.
Now, if Freckles sees his shadow when he comes up, how many more weeks of winter does that mean we have?
I don't know. It's a good question. You have to ask him.
I don't know. Or is that the groundhog?
That's the groundhog.
That's the groundhog. Okay, never mind.
That was not a funny joke.
I thought it was hilarious.
Not a fan.
Was the bus joke better?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. So you did all the research on the toads. What else could you tell us about Freckles? Like, what's the lifespan of a toad?
Oh, I don't know.
How long would
actually.
how long would Freckles live? And why doesn't Freckles have enough common sense, since it's now like below freezing and snowing? Why doesn't he have enough common sense to burrow back in the hole he came out of when he thought it was springtime?
Maybe, I don't know, maybe it got frozen. Okay, he's an American toad. I think that's what he looks like.
Okay. We know that they secrete some stuff, so you're supposed to wash your hands after you handle it, because there's some noxious stuff
you're not really
out of
supposed to handle them. I mean, like, you can, but it's better to just leave them be.
Okay.
Okay,
Well,
American toad
I
lifespan.
I voted for leaving him or leaving them be, but I was outvoted.
No, I mean like you're not supposed to like touch them very often.
Okay.
Um, it's not telling me how long. I mean, and they can live up to 30 years in captivity.
Have you seen
In
the
the
new Apple?
wild, they can only survive for like 1 to 2 years though. But
Oh,
I mean, that's like the average, but they can live up to 10 years in the wild.
have you seen the new iPhone commercial where the guy, I think he's like taking care of his friend's lizard, and he texts his friend the lizard is like belly up on the kitchen counter, and he texts his friends that the lizard is dead, and then the lizard like I guess it was sleeping and wakes up and flips over and starts walking around, and he deletes the text message. Have you seen that?
No.
That's all I think of when I see that toad just laying there motionless, and I'm waiting for it to like wake up and be like, I was just kidding with you guys. I'm really not dead.
Did you know that frogs and toads are perhaps the most intelligent among the amphibians and have the largest brain to body ratio?
Okay, I find that hard to believe because our toad got confused by a weather pattern. So I find that very
Climate
hard to
change is
believe.
real. This is a big issue we've talking about in my ecology class, is that a lot of animals are dying because of climate change.
No,
Because
that's
they're
really
coming out
sad.
too early.
Yeah, and that is really sad. Yeah. So hopefully
Oh,
Freckles what?
we can figure out if Freckles is a boy or a girl.
And how does one go about sexing a toad?
Males have black or brown throats, while females have white throats.
Okay. Well, we should go pick up Freckles and
I don't want to bug him anymore
flip.
today.
Yeah, I think Freckles has been maybe we can say figuring out Freckles' gender for another day. I think Freckles has been
Yeah, see if
traumatized
Freckles
enough.
is alive first.
He was all, happy in his burrow outside, and then it got warm, and he came out, and now got
He was probably
snatched up by
so
your
happy
mom. And
because it was springtime. He really thought it was spring. So ready. And then,
yeah,
well,
and
he
now
would
he's
have had a
locked in
very
this
painful
cage in
death.
someone's home. He has no idea what's going on. His family's probably out there looking for him, like Freckles, and
Would
they
you
don't know
rather
where
him
he is.
would they rather have him come back alive though, or find him dead in the yard?
I don't know the answer to that. I guess I'd rather he come back alive, but still think of poor Freckles' husband and or wife and children, because toads have lots of kids. They can
Mm-hmm.
have like hundreds and hundreds of children, baby toads. Think of all of them worried about poor Freckles, who's locked up inside our home. This now sounds like a Pixar movie.
No.
No, because in the Pixar movie, the main character wouldn't start out dead.
Yes. Oh, okay. Freckles does not have pale and flaky skin, so that's a sign of death. Oh, and they also play dead.
They play dead.
Yeah,
Are you saying toads play possum?
I suppose.
Why do they play dead?
Oh, and their eyes are open when they hibernate, so they look kind of dead.
So you think he's hibernating, or it's hibernating?
Maybe.
So we don't think Freckles is deceased,
We'll see. I mean, he needs to eat, so if he doesn't eat. Well, I guess if he's hibernating, he probably doesn't need to eat.
right?
Huh.
Oh, this is all fascinating now.
I'm gonna talk to Mr. Wright, the ecology teacher, tomorrow and see.
You should have looked all this up before you shed tears over Freckles being dead this afternoon.
Well, Mom told me that she picked him up and went, "Oh, he's dead."
Oh, he's dead.
And I had just spent $20 on him.
20 of your hard-earned dollars.
They can play dead up to 48 hours. That's
Wow.
awful.
Wow,
It's to
maybe
get
they
out of-
are the smartest amphibians of the animal kingdom.
Huh. Okay, so he's
Wow.
probably scared. And that's why he's playing dead.
Wouldn't you be scared of some giant thing
No,
scooped you
I'd
up
be
and
scared
threw
too,
you in a
but
plexiglass cage?
which is why I'm not bothering him anymore. I'm just gonna spray his habitat with water every once in a while and drop in some mealworms.
Oh well, this is now super exciting. So we're gonna have this is like the official. Is this the first official like Norah and Dad Show cliffhanger?
I suppose. It'll be a
Like
really
come
sad one if he dies.
like come back in 2 weeks for whether we've had a Toad resurrection or a Toad funeral.
Toad Jesus.
Oh, stop! No, that's not right. That's awful. Are you going to start a religion now that worships Freckles as your Lord and Savior?
Mayhaps. Only if Freckles lives, though.
Yeah, so everybody come back in 2 weeks for the exciting news of whether Freckles was playing possum or is actually passed on to the other side. So in 2 weeks, we will give the big update on Freckles. In 2 weeks, we'll also be able to give an update on mock trial, which the competition is Friday. The first round of the Ohio high school mock trial competition is Friday. We will be, you and I, along with the rest of your mock trial team, will be down at the Cuyahoga County Justice Center for the first round of the competition.
Hooray!
I think you guys are going to do awesome, but we'll be able to update everybody in 2 weeks as well, whether we moved on to the second round or not. How you feeling heading into the competition? Do you feel prepared?
I cannot give away our secrets in case there are.
Well, no, I just mean like you. No, I just mean
listening.
like you. Yes, because all the high schools listen to our podcast to get a leg up on the Lake Ridge mock trial team. But do you personally you feel prepared for someone you've never met to cross examine you?
I mean, after you gave me the cross, yeah, because I don't think anyone's going to have a better cross than you. And now I know what questions you can ask for.
Look at my 25 years of being a lawyer finally paying off.
Yeah, it was pretty good cross.
I think you know your stuff really well, and I think you'll be just fine. So I'm excited.
It was just that one section that I guess I had just never been asked about before, so I didn't know how to answer that question.
That's why it helps to get a different perspective, because someone's going to read those facts and pull something else out of it that you haven't expected. So it's good that we did that, went through the exercise. So
I know, I'm glad you did.
Yeah, so I'm going to wish you luck now, officially, in front of the whole world. I don't think you need it. I think you're going to be just fine, but I'm excited to see how our team does on Friday.
Ready to be the best Blair Georgiou ever.
There we go.
All right, hate Stevie Kahn.
Get your snotty high school student thing on. But if people want to hear what the case is about, it was episode
your mom.
Yeah, whatever. It was episode 25 of the Norah and Dad Show, Pop, Rock, and Beats. We talked about this year's.
What episode are we on now?
This is going to be episode 30.
Wow.
I know.
50 is coming up.
50 is coming up. We'll have a big anniversary celebration. So.
Woo.
Woohoo. All right. Anything else you want to add about Freckles, mock trial, or anything else going on in your world?
Stay warm. Stay alive.
Warm. All right. Stay warm, stay alive. Don't be like Freckles. Or maybe
don't
be like
come
Freckles.
Out of hibernation early.
We're not sure. We will see everyone back in 2 weeks. We promise. We'll be back in 2 weeks with an update on Freckles. Maybe we shouldn't
promise. Just in case there is a grave incident.
I don't only promise, I pinky swear promise. We
Whoa,
will be back in 2 weeks.
That's a little intense.
We will be back in 2 weeks with an update on whether Freckles has lived or passed on, or if Freckles' Toad Jesus has passed on and then come back. We'll see. So everybody stay tuned. We'll see everyone back in 2 weeks. Norah, where can everybody find you other than taking care of Freckles on the Lake Ridge mock trial team or otherwise right here on this podcast?
You can find me at Norah Marie Music.
And that's
everywhere.
You can find me at John Hyman everywhere. If you like what you heard and you are not yet subscribed to the show, please click the subscribe button. You can also rate us and leave us reviews on Apple Podcasts. You can rate us on Spotify. We take all ratings. We love knowing that people think we are 5-star worthy. It makes both of us very, very happy. We will see everyone back in 2 weeks. Love you, Norah.
Love you too.